Welcome back everybody, just a quickie. This is a little modification I'm doing to this. This is in effect a DIY HiCap, which we normally use for a power supply for name equipment, 24 volts. As you can see, I've got nothing on there at the moment, but we'll power it on. And we've got 24 volts here. Very good for name preamps, crossovers and the like. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever, but this is using the Avondale ASRZ shunt reg power supply. Very good in this application. It really does add a bit of finesse to the overall sound quality of a name preamp or associated equipment that it could be used with. In this case, I mean, I built this many years ago when these ASRs first come out. They do run warm, 42 degrees over extended periods. I have got twin transformers here with secondaries of 22 volts. But many years ago, 30 years ago, it was found that if you run a name preamp and associated equipment, and it will take comfortably up to 30 volts DC and not the 24, you do get an advantage, a sound quality advantage by doing this. And many people run them at 30 volts. It's not an issue. All the components within a preamp are 63 plus in most cases, or 40 volts. In a lot of the early preamps, the row capacitors were 40 volts, all rated at 40 volts. So 30 volts is well within the capability of the life of the component. And as I say, 30 volts seems to drive the output better. It's cleaner, you get better base weight. It's not night and day, but it is better. So what I want to do is update this to 30 volts. Unfortunately, I can't quite do it. There's a pot here that you can tweak and adjust the output of this regulator, this shunt regulator, but I haven't got enough AC volts coming in on the primary. This particular device, don't know whether we can zoom in and see. Will it focus? Just about. Is 22 volts, which is not enough. So you times 22 by 1.414, and that roughly gives you what you can get out of it as DC rectified through the capacitor. So that's not enough. So what we've got to do is up the primary to 30 volts. So I just happen to have, would you believe it, some 0.30 transformers, which will give us the 30 volt output I'm looking for. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take out these two and replace them with two 0.30. So I'll be back soon. So I'll just start, obviously I've got to take a bit of wiring off, disconnect some bits and pieces, so I'll move straight in, disconnect these primaries off of the shunt reg board. Just like that. Thus, just got to do some. This yellow and black is the LED, just power on indication on there like that. There's a couple of bit of AC here. As you can see, it's all disconnected. I don't know whether this has got enough power in it, this soldering iron. This little Hacko. Little Hacko, we're just come on, baby. It's one. So, thank you very much. So being gentle with that. So there's the, sorry I'll keep knocking this camera and making you seasick. So now I can back off these nuts. Like that, and then this whole assembly, the two come out together. He says, there you go, put them over there. I think I've got some better rubbers than those. I can reuse those. There's one. No, that's the wrong one, I think. Oh no, it's the right one. Yeah. I'll just see if I can find some rubbers. There's Right Magic. Look at the rubbers. I might have to move this bracket. We'll see. That's fine, that one. Okay. Yeah, no, I don't like that. I'm just going to discard this for a second. Just needs moving out of the way. It's a bit too close for this bigger transformer, slightly bigger. I don't know if it makes any difference, I doubt it. Let's line them up. Use these. Doesn't take long, it's just a bit fiddly, that's all. So I'm mindful that this has to feed into there. And this has to feed, come back. This is the blue and brown is the AC. So that's got to sort of do that. Come back to the switch here. This switch here, along with this one here. Those two got to go in there. So relative cleanup, yeah, that's fine. Just tidy it up. Let me just move this camera a bit. So I've moved this camera angle to help us out. So a bit of a clean up, don't need any of this. Don't need that. Saves me knocking this camera all the time and annoying everybody. So we just nip those down. Make sure they're tight, but not over tight, just to nip them up against the rubber. So, let's tie these together first. I'll go over to the old transformers. There's some sleeves, so blue on blue, thus brown on brown. God, these are stiff. This is the way, isn't it? Always the way. But anyway, we'll persevere. As in fact, I'm going to trim those off and make a better job than that. Discard those. Join them together. You could use ferrules if you wanted. I don't bother with ferrules, but you could do, if you know what I mean by a ferrule, where you crimp a ferrule on the end of the wire and then you use that to fix to your terminals. Just make sure we've got a bit of jollop on there. Get on. Better. And that will go down there in a second. Okie doke. So now what we have, let's sort this lot out. I don't like this at all. These were used in another application before this. So what we have is 030 or 30 and that is red and black are 0, yellow and grey are 30 volts. So we want to combine the red and the black. The red and the black. That becomes our 0 for the two, for the pair. And again, I'm going to trim these off because they've got to go there. Do this again. Make a better connection. Thus, nice. That's our 0, and these two are the AC. So on this ASR regulator, we have AC, AC 0. So the 0 obviously goes in the 0. Simple as that. Screw him up. And these are AC and AC. That one needs a bit of a tidy. I'll put a little bit of jollop on the end of that. That grey one. I don't know whether this is in focus. Might not be. Lovely. So which one's long? The other one's long. That's going to go there. That's going to go there. So this one will go in there. Just like that. The yellow one will go in there. Then we can get some zip ties. Just tidy this up. It's something that this is something that people don't do a lot. I have noticed. They're very reluctant. They're very keen to get it all working. But the devil's in the detail, and to make it look nice, peace of mind. These cost nothing. You know, they're pence. They're absolutely nothing really. But it really does tidy the whole job up. And make it, I'm going to say, look, this is DIY, and this makes it look, dare I say, semi-professional, professional. However, and just trim this off. Possibly, in this case, these are too long, as you can see, but you can jiggery pokey them, you can play around with them and make it so. Miss that one. This happens a lot, so don't ignore it. Strap all these together. By strapping them all together, that gives them rigidity so they don't flap about. That's better. There you go. So in effect it becomes one wire. Same with the AC. That's fine. Like that. So we want the black and the red, black and the red. I'm just going to put another zip tie on the beginning of these, just to hold the black and the red all together. Lovely, black and red. That's going to be our 0. So they need to be about the same. Thus. Actually, that's no good at all. To apologise. Let's get rid of that. That's it. Do it properly. It's all going Pete Tong this morning, isn't it? Okay. I'm hoping this is all in focus. Otherwise I've just wasted my time. Let's trim that end off, I don't like that. So there's those, they're too long. So we're going to make these the same so that they will bend nicely. My grey. What I wanted to show you was will that go that way and that go that way? Yes, it will. It's going to go under. Oh, I'm just going to put a bigger iron on for this. Just to tag that on there. Yeah, like that. These are really stiff, these need a... And it's all a matter of jiggery pokery to get it all to line up and to look good. And under and over until they all look nice and line up. Get it flowing nicely. Hold dead still. You should wrap the wires round and make a physical connection. Feed these on. Just tie those two together. Tidy up the end here. A bit of splodge on there. Stop it fraying. A lot of people say you should twist these two together, the two zeros. Whether you should or not, I don't know. I've never been an advocate of it. There you go. The zero goes in the zero. I'm going to put the grey in the middle because the other grey is in the middle. Don't think it makes any difference. This is full wave rectification. Put a bit of splodge on there. Do. Lovely. Give them a tug, good tug, give them a good tug, make sure they're not going to come adrift. Now we get some of these expensive cable ties that nobody wants to use, doesn't like using, people don't like using them. We'll just tidy this lot up. I've become, as I've got older and I've not very well, I've got because of the medications I'm on, I do get the shakes, and to line up simple things like this is just nightmare really. But anyway, we get there, we get there. So now we can manipulate this into some sort of relative niceness. That's fine. A piece of DIY, looks very nice rather than rubbish. I'll put another tie on there, just on here on the output of this ASRZ, just to hold this LED wiring in place. I could get my hot gun and shrink those at the moment, but I'm not at the moment, sorry. We're going to hold fire. That means I could get that, just drop that on there with a bit of super glue, couldn't I? Just there, maybe, just here, just there, out of the way. Yeah, so I'm going to get a little bit of super glue, of which I've got all sorts of stuff. Don't need a lot. Reuse where you can. It's going to go on there like that. Super fine. And a bit of a clean up. Always clean up. All this detritus, keep that bit, can use that. Detritus, detritus, detritus in the bin. And I've done all this without checking anything thus far, so hopefully it's all going to be going swimmingly. And yeah, it's fine. So there we go. Shall we see if it works? Let's see if it works. Let's see if I can get 30 volts. Out of this. So we go on the 0 volts here and that pin there. Let's give it some mains. Power's off. Now are we ready? Power on, 2 LEDs. We've got 24 volts. 24 volts. Now one of these is going to elevate this to 30 volts via this pot, or one of these pots. Is it this one? It's not that one. Let's try this one. Yeah, so I'm just going to turn this. In this case it's clockwise until we get 30 volts. 29. Slow down. 30 volts. We go on the other one, the other output. .2. Hello. That doesn't sound right, does it? That can't be right. That cannot be right. It transpires that one of the rectifiers on this board actually let go, which is why I was only getting 11.2 volts out of it. I had to change the rectifier under there. You'll notice that since making that video previously, I've modified this, and you'll see that in another video very shortly. Bye for now. So I just wanted to tidy up this wiring. We've got some 0 volts here and a positive supply, and the yellow one, that one goes back to the LED, and that's another supply voltage there. And I'm just going to solder them on this proof socket, so hopefully I won't knock this camera too much. So we've got a 0 volts earth down here. I've just tinned this off. All these are pre-used. I try to reuse as much as I possibly can where I can, like that. So that's me earth, which is that one there. Make sure we get it on there nicely. Give it a good tug. We got a positive, we can go on there. Bit of manipulation. Inside or outside. Plenty of solder, as you can see. tug, super fine smashing, just to make it look a bit more professional and to cover up the terrible soldering. I'll put some sleeves on. Thus, like that. No chance of shorting out, and I'll just hit it with the old there's no chance of it shorting out or messing about. So nice tidy little job. Well, a little zip tie on there. I don't know whether I got the frame rate right on this camera. I've reset it all. Not sure actually working fine. Right, I'm just going to zoom you out, and we'll just double check the voltages. So I've got a little pin that's 0. I've got a second pin. So this one here goes in there. Let's give it some voltage. We've got 240 on the mains, can't quite see it, but it's on the variac. And we'll see what we got just in here. Where is it? Maybe nothing. 30 volts on that one. Second pin, 30 volts on that one. So 0-30-30. 0-30-30. So this, I've taken this as a 24 volt power supply for a name preamp or piece of associated equipment. And we've lifted this to 30 volts with the aid of a higher secondary voltage on these transformers, which allows this to run at a higher regulated voltage. And you will notice, I don't know whether you did or did I mention it before, these transformers are not off the shelf, they are bespoke, in as much as, I don't know whether we can zoom in and see it, probably not actually. These are 0-240 volts primary and not 230. So that gives you the correct secondary voltage out. So that's that little job done. I've got a case down here. This is a tatty old case. It is beat to death. I've been using it for years for all sorts, but it's ideal for my little HiCap projects that I've used over the years. Backwards and forwards, different power supplies I've used in here, experimentation, lots of experimentation with different types of power supplies, but it serves the purpose very well indeed. Just got some feet on it, and we come back to the essential question. 30 volts powering name equipment. And beside it, I might have to zoom you out a bit. There you go. I'll just get a lead. Five pin to 5 pin lead. Here's a 42, pretty standard. Just like that. And you'll note the LED on the front powers up. And that's 30 volts. It lifts the top end, it gives more weight to the bottom end, and that I can't say for today. It's not night and day. This is not night and day. It's just an additional extra little bit. It gives top end an extra sparkle. I think it dries the transistors and the VAS and everything within the preamp better. All the components are well within spec over voltages. I mean, most of them are 40 volts plus the capacitors, so at 30 volts we're 30% under their capability. So there's another little project well worth a look and going for if your DIY people are thinking about it. It used to be the thing years ago, but not so much today. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. I'm trying to get back into it after a long recess. Had some issues, but we're getting over it now. So thanks for watching. All the best to everybody. Bye for now.